Welcome back in. There's a flashback intro for you. Just uncovered the old file and got it going. So, hope you guys are doing well. It's a Friday night live stream. We're going to do your mock draft by the people for the people. And I'm going to be even more hands off than I usually am. So, welcome. It's been a long time coming. We are officially a week away from the draft. And I am ready. I hope you guys are. Nice to see you. Obviously, some folks are absolutely pumped in here. So we are going to cut to the chase pretty quickly. I am just going to, make sure that I mention we're brought to you by our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you go check them out. You can get in the action on NHL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and obviously the football stuff is coming. You can get in the action in Missouri now. So sign up, go check them out, create an account, and use our code RGR. It helps us out a little bit, and you get to have a whole lot of fun. So we are going to get into it. Share my screen with you here. And thank you, Josh Simmons Nation. Bobby, appreciate you being in here and putting it out there. I know that this is a weird day to do a live stream. And don't worry about it, Chef Boy. You are just fine because I haven't even barely started. We are doing all right. So what we're going to start with first, and usually I set the draft up and we're ready to roll because I don't like to waste a whole lot of time, right? But I know that I led you guys through the woods a little bit too much on Tuesday night. So I am going to slow things down and I'm going to make sure that I set everything up and I don't even start talking about trades or anything until you guys decide. So here's job number one. Do you want to try to make a pre-draft trade, much like Brett Veach might be trying to do? Do you want to trade up? Do you want to trade down? Do you want to stay put and start the draft, see what happens? You guys tell me. It's a nice small group tonight, so you get to decide. Your votes are what matter. You're driving the bus. Tell me in the chat, are we trading up pre-draft? Are we trading down pre-draft? Are we just going to start it and see what the first 10 picks look like? I'm very excited. Countryman, nice to see you, buddy. I'm doing all right. My voice is back. Been getting a little bit more sleep since we finished the guide. And I should probably tell you guys that, yes, the Athletic Matrix rolls into the draft guide, and I'm going to show it to you. If you haven't seen it, it is also out here because I always do it. Dan and I brought on John Hickman to help us this year, a new analyst helping us with the film grades. We have it all rolled up into the Athletic Matrix combo. And so the draft guide has it all. The matrix, the playmaking production stats that I call the production matrix, as well as the film grades. You can get it all there. You can use the code RGR and you get a discount. Don't forget to do that. A lot of folks, tons of people buying this year, but not many using the code. And that always makes me feel bad because I want to reward you guys for supporting us. So please use the code RGR when you go buy the draft guide at rogueapc.com. It's right down there now, and you can get the link in the description. If I missed that, I'll make sure that I put it back in there again. But it's always over at that address. So please remember, use the code, get yourself the discount. I do it for you guys, so I want you to get that. Okay, I'm going to go back to the draft, and it looks like trying to trade to 20 or 23. That's what Chef Boy wants. You guys want me to trade up? Another vote for see the top 10 picks. I think that makes sense. If Simmons is available at 23, cool. And Chief Boy says, Chef Boy says go back to 33, which I do like that as a maneuver. We'll have to see if that we can make that work. The Titans are actually at 35, which makes it a little bit more problematic. But, that does work half the time. So let me get this up on the screen and share it, and we'll get into it. I'm just going to put myself up in that little tiny window. Again, we're just going to have fun tonight. I'll take some questions if we need to in between. And if you guys want to, feel free to support the show. Hit the super chats, and I'll definitely answer whatever super chats come in. Don't worry. I'm going to be a little distracted running the draft, but it's going to be fine. So looks like watch the board. Don't trade pre-draft. I agree with you, Eric. I think that's what we'll do. It seems most people just want to start the thing. So we're entering the draft here. Titans are on the board. And you can see that Titans for the second round, they don't have 33. They have 35. I believe 33 goes to the Browns, if I remember correctly. We will check that real quick. Yes, the Browns have the top pick in the second round. So that is something to remember. So I have it set to fast, so it'll tick. But maybe I'll even slow it down a little bit more, and we'll see what happens here in the first 10. Carter, Ward, Graham, Hunter, Genty, Membu goes. I didn't quite stop it on time. I have a hard time seeing Membu go above Will Campbell, but that's fine. Doesn't bother me at all because I don't have either of them in a range where the Chiefs can go. So seeing what you see here, what does it make you guys want to do? Again, I'm not going to try to drive as much as I usually do. Where are you at? You want to try to trade up at this? Bob says, let's try to get to 22 or let it run to 22, run it to about 15. Okay. I'll take a few more off. We'll try to get to 15-ish and see what it does. And there we go. Oh, one extra. Ibuka goes. And I do have my full horizontal, every position, every round board comes out no later than Monday. I'm going to try to have it out for you tomorrow night. It's going to be on NFL 33. So even if you just want to become a free subscriber, you have to be a subscriber to get it, but you can be a free subscriber. If you want to subscribe to all the content, you can join as well. Let's see. Let it ride, says Alex at this point. I don't think the Chiefs swing for a big tackle unless it's a DT. Why does everybody want Simmons? Well, James, he is the best tackle and specifically left tackle in this draft when healthy. He had a big injury. We understand that, but he is clearly not even close the best offensive tackle in this draft class. And that's why we talk about trying to acquire him, because that's just hard to find outside of it. So not trying to cause an argument or anything. That's just the way that I, and quite frankly, a lot of people do see it. So I'm trying to find the best view to give you guys here. And I think I should just go back to me being up in the corner and out of the way. Although I don't remember where that view went. Oh, I think it went here. Okay, so there we are. That's why we talk about it. So because I've been told to, well, builders, that's what I try to do. I try to tell you what I think you should know and how I see it. That's why. Okay, so we are here. Both of the main targets, the guys that I think best fit in Kansas City, are available at this point. Do we want to try to get here? I don't think the Bengals will trade with us, but we could give it a shot if you wanted to do that. I think the best two available prospects for the Kansas City Chiefs are Josh Simmons and Walter Nolan. I think they are impact players on both sides. I am not scared off by the injury, so that's why I think it's a possibility. Thoughts on Miami's tackle, said Chef Boy. Did they not just acquire Tunsil, was it? I don't think he's going to be available. Or you mean Jalen Rivers? I have him on my board as a day 3 guy. Could certainly go pick him up. I don't have a problem with that. And I actually think a couple of offensive tackles in this draft is not out of the question by any means. Builder says he'd take Harmon over Nolan. I would not, but that's okay. Everybody gets to have their favorites. I totally get that. And thank you, Chef. I think I figured it out. If I didn't, tell me again. So I'm just kind of playing around here with trade value. And I don't mind separating 63 and 66 to get some space. I'm not willing to throw in extra picks and certainly not willing to help the Bengals, and I don't want to go back to 119, so I don't think we can trade there. So I would say let's run this a couple more to say maybe Pittsburgh and see what happens. What do you guys think? That's the question, Eric. Do you want to trade up? Do you want me to roll down to like 21 and try again? Bobby says run it. I'm down with that. I'm going to slow it down just to make sure I don't go past it. Sit until 31, said Jesus. Okay. Tim said go down to 21. Trade out instead. I assume you mean trading back rather than up, Iceberg. Just want to make sure. Let me go down to 21, see what happens. Starks goes, Stewart goes, Walker goes. Our guys are both still on the board. We could try to swing a trade with the Steelers. Rumor is they really like Shedeur, but if we did this, this could really work. At 21, we could have our pick of either any player that we want, anyone that you guys decide you want. I will not make this pick. But if we traded this one up 31 to 21, we could then also move back from 66 to 83 and still have top 100 picks and not have the same grades on our guys. Get a little bit of space, which I think is an advantage for Brett Veach. And I think it's something that he would possibly look at doing. But what do you think? Wait for the Minnesota guy, said Jesus. That's Ariante Ursery. He'll be available in the second somewhere. Value of this draft is in day 2 and early 3. I agree with that, Danny. Hey, Cole made it. Nice to see you, buddy. Throw in 226 for good measure, in my opinion, but I would do this, said Bobby. Kyman Rucker in the fourth. I think I have a fifth on him, to tell you the truth. My board isn't 100% set. I'm about 80% done, and I should have it done hopefully by tomorrow night to put it out for you guys. So good value now, said Jesus. So we got to make a decision. Should I send this offer? Do you want to do it, or do you want to let it ride? Either down a couple more picks or down to 31. You guys decide in the chat. Bobby said, send this. Let's make this move. Jesus said, send this. Okay. Anybody else? Trade with the Steelers and move to mid 80s. Yes. We can have our pick, basically. Okay, 1 vote for 31, 3 votes for moving up, 4 votes for moving up. Doxter said as well. Unlike Veach working a trade, I'd trade down. Yeah, that's true, Jackson. He hasn't had much luck trading down, and that is a fair thing. But because we have both of what I think are our best prospects on here, I think this is worth doing. Another vote for 31, but several more for the trade. So let's make the trade. It may take a call or two, but I think we will get it to go. I have been able to do this in the past, and we did. And so we're on the clock. And so this presents us with the choices. So you guys can see who's available. For you Mizzou fans, Luther is on the board. So is Josh Simmons. So is Marion Hampton. And I believe, did somebody take him and I missed it? No, Nolan did go to those Bengals. So we can take any of the players available. Nolan just isn't one of them. Norman Lott is a guy that I do like as well at the DT spot. And if we just want to look at DTs, excuse me, I'll show you guys that. Because I do think that is the number one need in this draft. So Norman Lott is there. Derek Harmon is available as well. We talked about him. He would be the next guy off the board on my board. So trade. I don't know what Dan's thoughts are on Pierce Jr., but I'll tell you he's an outside linebacker only. I don't think he can put his hand in the dirt and be effective in the NFL. Bobby says take Simmons. How many QBs got drafted? Who will get drafted? I think 7 or 8. I think 10's a push. Alec, yeah, Nolan's gone. Simmons, second vote. Simmons. See what the trades are. Okay, Iceberg, let's take a look. I can get down with that. The trades offered are moving back to Green Bay at 23. And will they give us 54 for it? No. But they'll give us 87. We could probably move from 63 to 54. Maybe even get a 124 back. Yeah, we could do that. The other offers include the next pick, the Minnesota pick, which has been a popular trade target with people. And then the Commanders. Then the trade backs include going back to our original pick at 31 with the Steelers, and then a big precipitous fall. So nobody in the 30s really wants to trade with us. So I think that tells you something. We have a vote for Luther Burden. We have several for Simmons. There's a Williams in there. Be more clear. I hope you didn't mean Tyleek, because I do believe I was just showing the defensive tackles. I think that's too high for Tyleek. I will tell you guys that. Iceberg says trade back with Green Bay. Sanders out of SC. Yes. Jackson, TJ Sanders is an interior player. He reminds me a lot of Tershawn Wharton. I just don't think the first round's anywhere close to where he should be taken. I think he's a third round asset, to tell you the truth. So Bobby says don't chance it. PFF is unpredictable. That's very true. Trade with Green Bay. Yeah, it's crazy. The Eagles do a good job. They draft very, very, very well. Charlie says defensive tackle. So you guys got to tell me specific names. A lot of votes for Simmons. If you don't want to trade and you don't want Simmons, give me a specific name, and we'll consider that, and then we'll make the final. Because right now Simmons is in the lead by a very long shot in terms of what you guys are voting in the chat. Take Hampton. We can actually run the ball once in a while. I like the concept builders, but the offensive line has to get fixed or he's not going to be able to run either. Running back is a luxury at this point. Simmons. A trade back. Eric wants to trade back. I just have trouble getting value from it. Is my problem. So if we give him 63, we could get those back. I think that's the best going, and it's the shortest move back. Simmons. There's a Banks in there. I like Banks as well. I also have a first round grade on him if this hadn't worked out. I think this is too early for Colson Lovin, especially for the Chiefs, because tight end is a future pick now, whereas a left tackle could come in and compete with more right now and be a guy that starts, if not this season, next season. Trade back and go DT and corner. That's an interesting one too. I do think that they need a corner in this draft. Arm length on Simmons is 33 and 3/4. Jesus, if you need to know. Okay, seems like the vast number of votes are for Simmons. So we will take this pick here and draft Josh Simmons, and we will fall to 63, the Chiefs' original pick, unless you guys want me to try to trade up again. If so, say the word and I will pause it. We're back. This is the top. I just paused it just in case you want to. Yes, you're right. That is the risk, Eric. You gotta hope that Simmons is going to be healthy. I have a feeling that he will. Bobby, I think what I did is I averaged the readings. I think it was 33 even, then 34 and an eighth at the pro day. So I averaged them is what it is. The pro days are notoriously for giving guys more length than they have. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Okay, so I paused it at 33. We are at the bottom of this round unless we want to try to come back up if there's a target, if you guys want. Otherwise, I will let it roll. You guys say the word. The available DTs, unfortunately, in this, I can't look at it, but this is what happened since we picked. So we took Simmons. Banks did go pretty early. The edge Pierce came off. Michael Williams came off, and I keep hearing that he's falling. If the Chiefs don't have an offensive tackle, defensive tackle, Michael Williams might be the best guy on the board when it comes to 31. So that is something to keep an eye on. Then Hampton did go. Colson Loveland did go. No other DTs have gone. So Harmon's still there. Tyleek Williams still there. Trade up with Buffalo. Yeah, Bobby, that seems to work pretty well. Try and trade up, James said. Okay. Trade down for Ursery. I don't think we'll be able to trade down for Ursery. He will be gone by 63 is my guess. That's one of the reasons that I bring it up here. But we filled the need with Simmons, so I don't think trading up for Ursery is needed at this point. Right until the Vikings pick, which is 58. Is that? I got to double check. Nope, it is not 58. Where is the Vikings? No, they don't have a second. That's the problem. If I remember correctly, or I'm staring right at it. If I'm staring right at it, you guys go ahead and laugh at me and point it out, but I don't think they have a second. Will Collins fall to 63? Alfred Collins, the D tackle? Yeah, I think it's close, but I think that's a possibility for sure. Trade up to before the Bills. Okay, I like that. So you want to try to go back up with Green Bay? We can try that. Let's see what they want to do. That'd be 54 again. And we'd give them 63 and 257. They don't want it. We'd have to give them 133 and give up on that, which means we're out of the bulk of the top of the second day, and that's a problem. So I think okay, we could do another reversal. We could move back slightly from 83 to 87, and we could go 63 to 54, and I think I can get this done if that's what you guys want to do. Not worth it. Not worth it. The Nebraska nose tackle, what's his name? Nutmacher? Yeah, I do like him as well. Getting to 54 does open up some of the possibilities, that's for sure. I don't think could we move? No, I think that's going to have to be it. So where are we right now? We are sitting at 33. So we're talking about going to 54. Okay. So let's try that. And they took it. Okay. So we're splitting yet again, but we're coming back up 10 picks. We still have four top 100s. So we'll let this run to our pick and we'll see what we can do there. Harmon does go right where we were. Alexander goes, Tyleik Williams goes. Scorton comes off the edge. I'm a little surprised by that. There goes Sanders in the 40s. A little surprised by that. Ravel, that's a solid pick. Princely's way too high. Norman Lott goes at 48. I do like him for the Chiefs as well. There's Donovan Jackson. Ezra Thomas goes just before, so my guy Scadaboo to the Seahawks. Okay, so we are on the board at 54. We are looking at what remains of the defensive interior, which is probably Alfred Collins or Shamar Turner. I do not have CJ West this high. I think that's kind of ridiculous. So the two options there are Shamar Turner and Alfred Collins. I would probably lean towards Collins myself. I don't know how you guys feel. Caldwell's a distant one. Pegas and Robinson is the other. He's not the nose, but he is the defensive tackle. I think Nutmacher is going to be way down here. Or Hutmacher, sorry. Nash Hutmacher. I was concatenating his name. Sorry, guys. So he'll be available later is what we're seeing. So that's the defensive interior. Kevin Winston, little overrated here on my board, but that is what it is. Karloftis trade looks good. Okay, Brett likes it. Jackson wants to see. No, Bobby wants to see the linebackers. We'll see if Carson Schwesinger's there. I didn't see his name come off, but I might have missed the pick. No, he is available right where we're picking. I actually have him above Demetrius Knight just a little bit. So that is actually a good value in my mind. Let's see. Ty Robinson is the best. One of his measurables are great. Yeah, I like Ty Robinson quite a bit. I've been driving him quite a bit, Jackson. Alex likes Collins. So does Brett. Trey Amos, let's have a look. I didn't see him, but I wasn't looking for corners. I want to say he went, but yes, he did. Benjamin Morrison is a good corner. Porter could work. Obviously, Parrish, we know him. And I like Kobe and Mello in this defense. So the local prospects I think are really good. Let's see. Benjamin and then go Bassa later. Benjamin. Morrison? Is that what you're saying? Benjamin Morrison? Okay, that would make sense to me. He's up there. One of the top four here. No LB, too high for a second. Okay. Some people do feel that way. I will say this. Schlesinger is a good, elite athlete and can do everything that they need in the Chiefs defense. So that is something to think about. One of my favorite tight end options is here as well. Elijah Arroyo is here. So that is an option as well. Travian Henderson is here. Man, that's pushing it. I think I have Henderson as a 60, and that works. So there's options here. As far as the wide receivers themselves, it doesn't look like there's a ton. Let's take a specific look. Royals is still here. Kyle Williams, I don't think he's a fit in the Kansas City offense. I'm just saying. Trey Harris, I think, could be interesting. Jalen Well could be interesting. And you guys know how I feel about Torrey Horton. Bonds is having more and more off-field issues, so I think we might hold there. We do have a trade offer for moving. Oh, they want to move out of 118. Okay, well, you can have 95 for 3 picks, and next year's second. They won't do it. Next year's third? No. So we're not going to toy with that. So what do you guys see? The UCLA linebacker has a vote. The Miami tight end has a vote. Royals is thematic for KC. I like the use of the word. Yep, Arroyo is solid. Give me a corner first, though. And that's fair, Pepe. Royals, yeah, basically Royals. That is true. So I think you guys just need to vote and put the name of the player you want in the chat, and we will grab him. First 1 to 5. Let's go. You guys select. James, Devin Neal is his name, and he should be available in the 3rd round. We can come back and try to see that. Okay, got to vote. For Benjamin Morrison, we have a Henderson vote. We have a second Morrison vote, a third Morrison vote, a Collins, a second Collins. Right now, Morrison's in the lead. Two votes now for Schlesinger. Third vote for Schlesinger. A vote for Arroyo. Okay, it's Collins and Schlesinger in the lead. Keep them coming, folks. Everybody, if you have an opinion, jump in there. We got a tie right now. Schlesinger and Collins. Edges, I'll take a look. There's two more Morrisons, so now Morrison is tied with them as well. Swest takes the lead. Let's look at the edges. JTT's out there. I like Kyle Kennard for this defense. Maybe next round. That would be an option. Getting 5 people to agree might be a problem. You're absolutely right, baby. I'm trying to be more pragmatic than me sending it. There's another Morrison. So Morrison, Schlesinger, Collins are the leaders right now. And they're very, very, very close. I think Morrison has hit 5, and I think Collins has hit 5. West, I think, is at 4, actually. Nice to see you, Thundarius. Hope you're doing well. Congrats on everything you got going on. Put it in the chat, and I will, if you have anything to announce, put it in the chat, and I'll make sure everybody hears it. Morrison has a hip injury. That is true, Brett, and I probably have him lower down than this for that reason. So, okay, that's a sound maneuver. So let's narrow it to Collins and Schlesinger, as you guys have voted to that. So A or B? A is the defensive tackle, Collins. B is the linebacker, Schlesinger. A or B in the chat, and we'll make this pick. Two Bs, 4 As, 5 As, 6 As, 6. Okay, Alfred Collins it is. The A's have it. I just got to find him. And boom, he is on your roster. Well done. Okay. Hope you're doing great, Thundarius. And again, thank you for this. Okay, so if you guys are up Iowa way, open a vape shop called Dude, Where's My Vape? Also selling goods for friends and products. No storefront. Go Chiefs. Gear up. Of course. Yes. Hey, help out a friend. Check it out. Dude, Where's My Vape? Charlie. Okay, cool. Yeah, KU's running back is Neil. You guys got it. Okay, we are running. We're just about on the clock again at 87. So, top picks here, according to this. Oladejo, the edge. Makuba, the safety. And I do like him. He can play some split, definitely. And he can, I think, eventually grow into a single high. Jonas Savane is the biggest guard in this draft. I love his power. He plays well. Latham Ransom is my safety number 4. He's actually ahead of Makuba on my board. Cameron Williams is the right tackle from Texas that I do like, and I think he has a lot of upside. We have another pick in 8, so we got to keep that in mind. There's a tackle in Charles Grant that a lot of people have as a upside player at this point. And again, this is what we've done to this point. Offensive tackle, defensive tackle. Now we're back on the board. Giddens, Ashton Glott is the edge. You guys know that I like. Harold Fanning is another tight end that a lot of people have a lot of upside on. I think it's medium. I like Ferguson a little bit better myself, but that's me. There's Devin Neal, as you guys were asking for. So what stands out to you? What are you looking for? Giddens at running back now, says Joseph. Okay, so Sammy, here's a look again. This is what we've done to this point. We've traded up twice. But we've maintained 4 picks in the top 100. So it's hitting all the blocks here right now. We got Josh Simmons to start with. We came back with Alfred Collins at the D tackle spot, and that's where we're at right now. So there's a vote for Grant. There's a couple of Giddens, edge or corner. Charles Grant is worth it. So we want to double up at tackle in the top 3 picks. Is that what we're saying? Eric likes Ransom. Get another pick at 95. Take best player. Yeah. The problem is the best player on this list is not my best player available. So if you guys agree with this, we can do that. Oladejo does have a lot of upside. Dan loves him. So I will tell you that. I believe Arroyo went, but let's double check. Yes, Fanning is top of the board. And And I do have him right around there, except I do have Ferguson above him, but it looks like Ferguson is gone too, unless I missed something. Nope, Ferguson has gone as well. So Fanning is on both PFF board and mine the best tight end available. Savion Jones, I like him as well. I think he's a day 3 guy, but that's okay. Ojideo or Martinez? Are you thinking Nick Martinez? Is that what you or Damian? Sorry. Okay. So looking at running back. And let's look at all the running backs that are available. Here's the wide receivers: Kyle Williams, Savion Williams, Torrey Horton, Tez, Isaac. Dante Thornton's kind of an interesting guy later, as is Nick Nash. And I do like Jimmy Horn, but wide receivers a little thinner than we'd hope. So that was a good call to at least look at it now. We might come back and take that in a minute since everybody seems to be on doubling up on the D line. I like that one, Pepe. It is Damian Martinez, Giddens, Neal. Blue is a third down back, home run hitter, but I don't think you can rely on him to share the load. Williams, round 2 pick is still there. Yeah, Kyle Williams. Yeah, because he is a big X. I don't think he's as dynamic as the Chiefs like. Tad says go edge. Take edge and get the running back next. Okay, I like that idea. Running back at 95. Okay, so we're going to go running back at 95 like a lot of you guys want to do. So are you saying that we're going to take Oladejo here and come back with the best available running back next, whether it's Martinez or Giddens or whoever? Is that what you want? Yes or no in the chat? There's 1 vote for Charles Grant. Procto says yes. Sounds good. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We'll take Oladejo, get an edge rusher. Just 8 picks until we're back on the board. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. And it stopped again and didn't show us the picks. I'm a little confused by that, but that's okay. Okay, so Harvey, Ferguson. I do like Harvey. He was one of the running backs I was considering there. Paul, Kennard, etc. Then Jared Wilson went, Makuba went, Ransom went. Talked about all of them. Charles Grant went just before 95. So there was even a possibility to get him on this backside. So Damian Martinez is here, as is Giddens. We have just taken an edge, so Ashton's off the board probably here. Cameron Williams is a good backup tackle. If you want to double up a tackle, that's the direction that I would go over Grant. So I actually think this worked out for us. But it seems like everybody wants a running back. Is it Giddens or Martinez or somebody else? Tell me that. Who's the fastest? Let me grab my other laptop and I'll tell you. So as far as breakaway speed, there's going to be acceleration and there's going to be breakaway. And those are the 2 things that we need to look at. So I'm going to pull up my running backs. And if you guys haven't seen the draft guide yet, this is in here. You can see who the breakaway speed guys are. Everyone is in it that has tested. If they haven't tested, I still have some numbers on some guys. So when we get to long speed, Martinez, I want to say, has the edge, but I think Giddens has the longer speed. So, yes, Giddens is the fastest overall long speed. Martinez, then Devin Neal would be that pick if we're looking specifically for running back here. Martinez does break tackles. That is a good point. In fact, by my metrics, he breaks tackles at an incredible rate, if I remember correctly. So he's 13th overall out of the class. Giddens is 12th, just ahead of him. So in terms of whether they make a miss or they run him over, They're right neck and neck, so they're very, very close. Let's see. It looks like we have a vote for. Can we get a poll? Let me see. I don't think I can do a poll from our StreamYard. That's the problem. So no, I am not able to throw a poll up there. That is a great idea, and that's something I will ask the powers that be to build me. That is a great idea. I'm sorry I didn't think of it before. Martinez, let's just go Martinez or Giddens. A couple of votes for Giddens. There's a Martinez. Give me Larry Johnson Jr. I like that. Another Giddens. Thank you to our friend Minotaur for giving away the memberships. Nice to see you, buddy. Cheers to that, and cheers to you. You guys can thank him in the chat. Five of you are going to get a free membership to the channel. All about the live streams. If you want to upgrade for the content and everything else, you can get in there. There's a Martinez vote. Another Giddens vote. Not a good draft this time. Giddens. Okay. Looks like Giddens is going to win it. We do have 3 trade back offers. We could move back and get 105 maybe. Would we do that? No, they're not going to accept that, but that's the only thing I would accept from them. And beyond that, it's moving back a whole round, which we don't want to do. So it looks like it's going to be DJ Giddens, the hometown area guy, and we are off the board at 95. So as this ticks down to 133, our next big pick, here's what we've been able to do. And I think this is a pretty good start. So we came in, traded up to get Josh Simmons. I like what you guys did there. We came back, traded up again for a defensive tackle, and now for Collins from Texas. Then we were able, in our trade up, we did trade down twice and moved from 66 back to 87 to get Olufemi Oladejo to come in on the edge and help FAU and Charles and try to get something done there. And then we picked up DJ Giddens for some speed out of the backfield. We are back on the clock at 133. We are getting trade offers, and I just want to see what they look like, because if the Niners were going to double us up on picks, I would consider it, but it doesn't look like they want to do that, because right here is where some of the value lies. So if we did that, if we move back 6 with the Vikings, we'd have to give up several picks. And that's honestly too much, I think. But what do you guys think of moving from 133 to 139, picking up 187, but giving up 226 and 251? Maybe I could make that 257 and 251. Let's see. And I'll throw in next year's 7-2 just to get it done. What do you guys think of that? Before trade, let's look at the board. Absolutely. I just wanted to see what the offers were to see if they were even close. And a couple of them were. So Pepe wants Tesla. I'm not a huge fan of his fit for this offense. I'll just say that. But you guys are deciding. Is Belton or Miles Frazier on the board? Let's go have a look. Tesla is. Let me get this laptop out of the way. Now, Billy Bowman's on the board too, and I do like him as a guy who just wants to make plays. He might be able to. Wide receivers here. Not a whole lot of depth. Like I said, I do like Dante Thornton. Not a whole lot more standing out to me here. Nick Nash is okay. He's a later guy. Jimmy Horn's a later guy. Kobe Hudson could be interesting, but not a whole lot of talent at wide receiver right now. Billy at 133 is a pretty good deal. Beach, I agree with you. Somebody wanted to see the tackles, Belton or Miles Frazier. Logan Brown's there, and I do think this is a good spot for Logan Brown, about where I have him ranked. I don't think Crenshaw Dixon's near as good as Chase Lunt. I will just say that. Jalen Travis is still here. Emory Jones. Issa is a guy that I think the Chiefs want to bring in as a UDFA, so keep an eye on his name, and we will add in the interior guys. McLaughlin, Willie Lamplin, I don't think he can get drafted. I think he'll be a UDFA. Doesn't look like Frazier's here. He is actually. Okay, so Frazier is in there, but the Chiefs have like 7,000 guards, so I can't really recommend that unless you guys just want to overrule me. Tesla, Iceberg thinks he has a high ceiling. Okay. Logan Brown vote. Billy Bowman or Dante Thorman. Benjamin Morrison. Marbles, I don't think he's here anymore, but we'll double check. Let me clear that, and we'll go to the corners. And if he's still here, this might be a Ty Robinson area. I'm just going to say it. Mongerum. Oh, Zay Alexander's here. He might be able to play for the Chiefs. Denzel Burke has fallen so far. I'm almost a little surprised at this point. And Jabbar Muhammad, you guys know I like him. So I don't know if any of those corners stand out to you. DL, DB, Ty, please. DL would be it right here. Billy Bowman's a good value. Ty Robinson is a good value here. Is Nico Reed still here? I'll look, Chef Boy. He is, but he should be available with our next pick as well. So I don't think there's any reason to jump that. And I actually like Jabbar better than him, just so you guys know. Somebody likes Tyler Batty. Okay, we already took an edge, though. I don't think there's enough play room to take another edge and get him onto the roster. Castro is off my board. I'll just tell you that, old pass. I don't think he's going to play. I think he'll be a UDFA. Let's see. CB looks good. Okay. Who looks good to you? Longerbeam? Zai? I think the picks are either Billy Bowman or Ty Robinson here, but you guys put the player that you want in the chat and we'll start taking votes. I agree, Sammy. None of them look good. Nobody that I want to take a run on. Marble says A. I believe that's Billy Bowman. Billy. There's two ties. There's a third tie. Another tie. Another tie. Okay, so we're going to pass on the safety. There's another Robinson. Okay, so we're going to take the DT. We know that they have a significant need, so I totally get wanting to do that. That does make sense. And I'm totally with you guys on making that kind of move. I'm just trying to make this a little cleaner here so I can see the full draft. And nope, that ain't going to work. So we'll go back to this. Yeah, okay. So it looks like there's a Bowman. There's Ty. Yeah, the bigger need is defensive line. There's snaps to be had there. Billy Bowman would have to fight to make the roster at this point because they brought in Mike Edwards. So he's kind of their fallback for their fourth safety. And there's like 7 safeties on the roster already. So, okay, another Robinson and another Ty. Okay, so we'll go Ty here and we'll come back. Chef, we did not get a backer yet. And actually, let me pause this. And I don't think we'll be able to trade up with our 200 picks. So we'll just go to Turbo and go to our next pick. K. Madrano is a solid, like, coverage type linebacker. He'll be a great special teamer. I like that. David, I believe that Stutzman should have gone quite a bit earlier. He's a 2-down backer on my board, so I'm not sure that he would have been a fit, really, because that's pretty much what Nick's role is. So I think that we're good there. Let's see. Get a CB later. We can go CB. Okay. Stutzman, love Robinson. Once we hit round 4, I have no idea. Okay, that's fair. So we're on the board at 226. And we have a couple of trade offers. I don't know why we would take any of them, though, because there's almost no room left in this draft. So I think we should just stick and pick here. So Jalen Reed is a guy that is the solid safety. I don't know that he has a chance to make this roster. I'm really looking now for guys that could come in and compete. Jalen Travis could be one of those as a depth tackle, knowing that we took one at the very top, but taking a second isn't anything that'll hurt right now. Smell Mondin. There's the linebacker. If you want a linebacker, Mondin is the guy. I have him as a day 2 guy. And I do think that he is someone that could play snaps. He could learn roles. If they decide not to bring Tranquil back, or for some reason they don't bring Leo back, he's a guy that could step in. He played 3 years at Georgia. He can do it all. He can play 3 linebacker positions. He's not ultra elite at take on. He's not ultra elite at coverage. He's a good all around linebacker. And if you get him here in this round, I think that's great value. So I'll just say that. Nico Reed is here. Someone asked specifically about him. Batty should be gone. I can look him up momentarily. Let's see. Raheem Sanders. We already have a running back. I don't think we need to take two. Jackson Slater is a guard with upside. I think he might be able to still play tackle. And here's my safety of the day. My value safety is Keaton Crawford. He is a guy that can play two positions. We might even be able to come back and get him in the next round. So if you guys are into that, we can do that. Wide receiver Holden is usually available late, said David. We can check that as well. Wide receiver Holden. Yeah, so we could be able to get him and Keaton with our next two picks. If we want to go Mondin, the linebacker, who else stands out? Talked about Nico Reed. I do have Hunter Wooler on my board. He's not super high. Bo Collins is a special team wide receiver. Good athlete, needs a lot of work to be a contributor at the wide receiver spot. Tommy Mellott is like the darling of Todd McShay. Thinks he could grow into a tradable asset. So that's kind of what we have. What do you guys think? There's a couple of votes for Mondin, the Florida wide receiver Elijah, Keaton. Okay, good. There's a wolf pack in here. I like that. Mondin, Keaton, and Jimmy Horn to finish. I like that combination, Tad. Badger or Mondin. Okay. Boise State DE gone, I believe. Hassanen, I believe is how you pronounce that. I'd have to double check and let's check Edge. Yes, he is gone. The darling would be Elijah Ponder because he's an excellent athlete, but he is outclassed at this point. Mellott is a running back with a small QB body. Okay, fair enough. Batty's gone. There's a Bo vote from Minotaur. So let's go. So there's a possibility for Bo, the Mondin at the linebacker, come back with Catan, Crawford, and a wide receiver. Sam Brown. I will check. We skipped so many picks. I have no idea. Evidently not. Which is good because I was struggling to place him. Real deal, Devin Neal. Already gone, Debo. Sorry, bud. RJ Harvey was in like the fourth round. Yep, absolutely. London. Tad, which London? Or do you mean Mondin? Okay. Let's go do that. I think that's the consensus. Anybody who wants to go Mondin, the linebacker from Georgia off the bat, who I think is probably the best fit that they could use right now, go for it. Throw him in there. And anybody who wants to do, say, Elijah Badger here, the wide receiver, very close grades, at least on this board. Let's vote it up. We already have Giddens marbles. So Mondin or Badger? Been a lot of Mondins so far. Spags would like him, you're right. Mondin. Pepe, honestly, Raz is decent, but the athletic matrix is way better, especially at this point in the draft, because Raz is just a comparison by percentile to what other people have done in the tests before. It doesn't combine anything. It's not real for being on the field, whereas the athletic matrix is functional. We put together the algorithms to combine all the assets to give you an approximation of what they do on the field. And it becomes more and more important the longer you go into the draft, because guys in this area, they are most likely only going to make this roster on special teams. And so they have to be good athletes. I think that's essential. And both these guys are decent. I would say Mondin is the better value. Looks like most people want Mondin. There was a vote for Badger. Sorry, Iceberg. And Napoleon, I think you've lost this one. I will tell you the matrix grade on Mondin real quick, and then I will try to pull up Badger. I don't think he finished testing, but I will double check that. Let's see. For Mondin, he is matrix 6 at the linebacker group. And let's find Badger. And again, all this is in the draft guide. I just have the easier to search version so that I can pull stuff up a little bit quicker. But you can get the draft guide at rogueapc.com. Use the code. Remember, use the code RGR. Get yourself that discount. Okay, Elijah Badger is Matrix 22 at the wide receiver position. Now, it's not always it's apples and oranges because of the size and stuff like that, but that's what they are. So I think it is clear on all levels that Mondin is the pick to make here. So there we go. He wins in the votes and has the better athleticism. We are down now at 251. Let's see. Hunter Waller did go. Jack Slater did go. Pierce went. I think he's just too gargantuan, I got to tell you. He's not as good an athlete as Ethan Driscoll is at very similar size. So I think that was probably good that we didn't go that direction. Rondé Gatson is an interesting tight end prospect. He went down here. And Badger went just one pick before the pick we were about to make. That's too bad. I personally, just given the clientele here, let's double check corners. Yep, Nico Reed is here. So our plan was to go Katan Crawford and then Nico Reed. Let me know if you still want to do that. Iceberg wants to take Reed and trade Cook. I don't think you're going to get value there, buddy. And I think Cook's better than Reed, I got to tell you. Big boy from Florida, Desmond Watson. Okay. The 400-pounder dude. I don't think he's going to make a roster. He will be a UDFA. He might make a practice squad. Jalen Travis's arm length. Let's see if they have it in here. Otherwise, I will pull it up from the matrix. I don't know. Let me double check that. So, Jalen Travis, Iowa State. Arm length, 34 7/8. Let's see. Packers receivers in paradise. Yeah. CB Za Frazier. Okay. I do like Za as well. Let's take a look. Za is there. He and Nico would be roughly equivalencies there. I actually prefer Muhammad over both of them, but that doesn't matter. So we're going to go Crawford if he's here, and then either Frazier or Reed. So do you want Frazier or do you want Reed? Put it in the chat, and we will make your picks. As long as Keaton is still here, and if he's not, then we will do something different. And somebody read my mind because Keaton Crawford got taken. So we are out on him. So the next best combination is Jalen Reed and one of the corners. So there's a Reed vote there. There's a CB vote from Belisarius. Take Travis. Take Jalen Travis. Okay. Let's double check. Yeah, we've only taken one tackle. So if you want to give it a shot, we can do that. So is it Reed and Travis? Take the top two on the board. Is that it? Yes or no in the chat. Take these top two prospects. Reed, Travis. Take Jimmy Horn with the last pick. Dockster says yes. I'm going to take Reed because he's here. Let's see if Jimmy's around. And we'll put it to an AB. Jimmy got selected, so Jimmy's out. So the next best is Jalen Travis. Everyone seems to love him. So, bada boom, we'll put him on the roster. And this is what we have done together. You guys have done a great job picking. I just kind of drove the bus around. By the way, Benjamin Morrison was one of the picks that they say, hey, you should have done this instead. Here's what we got. Traded up to get Josh Simmons. We did get that done. That's putting faith in his recovery from his knee. We traded back up to get Alfred Collins, the defensive inside position, somebody that can man the middle, maybe even push to start this next season, and does provide some pass rush. Not as much as some of the other guys that are high on there like Harmon or Tyleik Williams, but he does provide some. We come back with the edge, the guy that played behind Liatu Latu and the Murphy brothers. That's why he was an off-ball linebacker. Oladejo just moved to edge. he is a guy that is a great athlete and will be able to make the transition. I think he's got plenty in him there. He's just going to have to be a development guy, and that's perfectly fine at 87. DJ Giddens comes back, gives us a little pop out of the backfield to help Pops and Hunt. Then we come back with Ty Robinson in the fourth. Great value there, in my opinion. I have him well above that, pushing right under the top 100. I think I have him at about 110. We come back way low with Ismail Mondon, who I do think is at least a fourth round pick. I think PFF is missing the boat on this guy. And then we finish off with Jalen Reed, backup safety who might be able to contribute on the practice squad, and Jalen Travis, another type of tackle prospect, much like Ethan Driscoll, in my opinion, but maybe with a little bit more upside. So Old Pass does not like this draft. I understand. This was common vote by the people, so we can do that. And you're right, Joe. I have seen Ty Robinson take over a game. Who was available after the UCLA linebacker before 95? Can I go back and look at it? Good question. Full results. Okay. So we want to look for linebackers, if I can find them. Okay, so Jihad, Jalen, they listed as linebacker. He wasn't. He's an edge. Okay, Schlesinger went at 58. Demetrius Knight. Okay. I have Demetrius as linebacker 4, I believe. At 65, that's pretty good. If we hadn't traded out, we'd probably been able to acquire him. Then the next one was Chris Paul. I have other linebackers above him, but he went next, followed by Jeffrey Bossa at 104. So those were the options. That's the way the linebackers fell. Okay, draft said Iceberg. Personally, I'm not a gambler, so I don't like Simmons. Fair enough, Sammy. That is absolutely fine. DFN thinks it's a decent draft. Depends on the health of Simmons. Absolutely. That will be the crux of it. Sorry, I meant after the UCLA. Oh, okay. So after Femi. I don't know why the search isn't working. Okay. So the first linebacker after him was 104, Jeffrey Bossa from Oregon. That would have been the next one to go. Sorry, I'm 10 minutes behind in casting all of these outdated votes. No worries, Marbles. No big deal. I want to see Colson Loveland and the Chiefs uniform, said Minotaur. Fair enough. He is my tight end number 1. So I completely agree with you. I get that. But I think overall, this was actually a pretty good exercise. I think you guys did well in making the picks. And in the end, got a lot of things accomplished with prospects that we can see grow into a role in Kansas City. So I will say that's pretty good. David, I take Jalot a lot in my drafts as well, because I do think he has a lot of upside. And he is one of the best 3-cone measurements in this draft at 265 pounds, better than the 245-pound edges. He is quick. 4'8", I believe. I'm sorry, 6'8" in the 3-cone, but I'm going to double check that for you right now. And it did come in 6'9", 6'9". But he's a sub 7. The only guy lower than him in this class is Azaraku, Jalen Walker, Kareem Abdul. Abdul Carter, not Kareem, and Mike Green. That's it. Those are the only guys that are faster than 3-cone than Ashton Gillette. So that's one of the reasons that you see me take him a lot, and why I think he's going to go in the top 100 myself. So next year's class at wide receiver looks better. You're absolutely right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for being with me. I might try to do another one of these on Sunday night with a different spin on it. So join me then. We have special stuff coming next week. We're going to have the draft summit. We're going to have it for you on Tuesday. Me, Dan, Kent Swanson, Maddie Lane from KCSN. We do this every year. We get together and we do our draft summit and talk about the prospects and the things that we saw, what we like, what we don't like. So join us on Tuesday. Then we're going to get ready and we're going to have all of Gary's stats and his prep for the draft on Wednesday. And then Thursday night, we're live streaming the draft. put it on the TV, turn us on the laptop or your phone, and turn up the audio on us, and we'll walk you through the entire thing. We will try to do as much as we can of night 2 as well. And then we will have a recap show on Saturday night of the process on day 3. I hope that you guys are having a good time. Thank you for joining me. Check out our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Have a great night. We'll talk to you Sunday. It's almost draft day. Have a good one, and I'll see you later.